สวัสดีครับขอต้อนรับท่านผู้ชมทุกท่านเข้าสู่รายการเสียงไทยเพื่อเสรีภาพของคนไทยนะครับแม้ว่าผลการเลือกตั้งประธานาธิบดีสหรัฐอเมริกาจะผ่านพ้นไปแล้ว 2-3 วันนะครับแต่ว่ากระแสการต่อต้านของคนอเมริกันจากหลายรัฐนะครับหลายเมืองก็ยังคงมีอยู่นะครับไม่พอใจผลการเลือกตั้งที่ออกมาแล้วก็ไม่พอใจต่อนโยบายแนวคิดและตัวตนของความเป็นนายโดนัลด์ทรัมป์นะครับมหาเศรษฐีชาวอเมริกันที่กำลังเป็นว่าที่ประธานาธิบดีสหรัฐอเมริกาคนที่45นะครับกระแสความไม่พอใจนี้ก็ดูจะมีการขยายไปในหลายๆเมืองนะครับในสหรัฐอเมริกาแล้วก็นำไปสู่ข้อเรียกร้องที่จะให้มีการเปลี่ยนแปลงเรื่องของระบบการเลือกตั้งแบบใหม่เป็นการเลือกตั้งประธานาธิบดีโดยตรงนะครับมากกว่าที่จะเป็นการเลือกทางอ้อมนะครับอันนี้ซึ่งเป็นเรื่องใหญ่เหมือนกันแน่นอนครับอนาคตทางการเมืองอนาคตของประเทศอเมริกาซึ่งเป็นต้นแบบของความเป็นประชาธิปไตยเป็นประเทศมหาอำนาจนั้นจะถูกท้าทายด้วยปัญหาการเมืองภายในอย่างมากนับจากนี้ไปเรามาฟังความคิดและความรู้สึกของคนอเมริกันแท้ๆกันบ้างนะครับว่าคิดอย่างไรต่อสถานการณ์บ้านเมืองของเขาจะไปคุยกับคุณแอนนานอร์แมนนะครับซึ่งเป็นคนอเมริกันที่อาศัยอยู่เมืองพิตต์สเบิร์กรัฐเพนซิลเวเนียแล้วก็สวัสดีครับคุณแอนนาครับสวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะคุณโจม
สวัสดีครับ thank you so much for being with me ขอบคุณมากนะครับครับ
ไม่เป็นไรค่ะ
ครับ I will interview you in English but if you feel comfortable to speak in Thai it's okay okay
โอเคค่ะ
alright okay um, what do you think right now is about the result of the presidency's election
ฉันไม่เคยเห็นอะไรแบบนี้เกิดขึ้นที่สหรัฐอเมริการู้สึกเสียใจมากแต่ไม่แปลกใจเลยเพราะว่าฉันเคยเห็นเรื่องที่เกิดขึ้นที่เมืองไทยค่ะแต่เสียดายมากๆ I think that I feel so sad มีประธานาธิบดีที่ไม่มีประสบการณ์ในการเมืองเลยไม่เคยรับใช้ประเทศยังไงขณะที่เขาไม่ได้เสียภาษี he didn't even pay his taxes เห็นแก่ตัวโลกดูหลายๆกลุ่มได้แก่ผู้หญิงชาวเม็กซิโกผู้อพยพและก็คนผิวดำและก็สามีของฉันคือคนผิวดำและก็ฉันมีลูกชายสามคนที่เป็นลูกครึ่งถ้าแบบนี้ฉันเป็นห่วงเกี่ยวกับสิทธิมนุษยชนที่สหรัฐโดนัลด์ทรัมป์เขาไม่มีอุดมการณ์เลยเขาเป็นพนักงานขายที่ล่อโลกลูกค้าขอโทษ you understand he's just a salesman he's just a salesman he say anything ใครที่ออกจากปากของเขาไม่มีความหมายเพราะว่าเขาโกหกโดเลรื่อยไปค่ะแล้วก็เขาโกหกว่าโอบามาไม่มีสุบัติ He said that Barack Obama had no birth certificate.
Yeah.
Said that he wasn't an American. He can only do that because Barack Obama is black. And because people are racist, he can do that. If otherwise, it'd be ridiculous. And nobody would believe it, but people believed it. So that like 50% of Republicans believed it. There wasn't one bit of truth to it. And he just told that lie. And that's how he became famous enough to run for president.
So what about what you can do because the election is over? What you can do for this? Because you can only protest or do anything to fix this? Or what do you want to do?
ไม่มีทางออกไม่มีต้องรอ4 ปีอีก4 ปีก่อนทำอะไรได้ And so there's nothing we can do. There's nothing
Right.
we can do, and it's more important to preserve the democracy than, to try to undermine them somehow. So there's nothing to do
So what do
except
you
hope for the best.
yes, what do you think about the demonstration right now? The protester will be expanding in over the country or
No,
going to be
no.
end? What do you think?
I will say something that isn't very polite, but those people should have been out voting. They should, the time to be out protesting was before the election. Right
Okay.
now, it's too late.
Uh-huh.
And some of those people who are very young, I hate to say it, but I really suspect they probably didn't even vote.
Uh-huh.
Because I know many, many young people didn't vote. And so or maybe they voted, but they voted for some third-party candidate who had no hope of winning. That
Okay.
means, one of the very small parties. And so, some of them said they would never vote for Hillary Clinton because they liked Bernie Sanders.
All right.
And so
Yeah.
they didn't vote for anybody, or they went there and they wrote in some joke name. They just made a joke and wrote in the joke.
Mhm.
And now, maybe I don't know these people, but there's nothing that can be done now, and protesting now doesn't make a difference. They should have been out campaigning for Hillary or whatever their candidate was. They should have been out doing it earlier. Now, there's no point.
Right. So what do you think why the students and from university, from high school come out to protest? What happened of their thinking about the election? What do you think?
I think they're just embarrassed that we have such an embarrassing president. And so they want the world to know that they don't accept him, or they don't like him, and they don't respect him. And so they just want they are not going to try to overthrow the government. That is like something that would never occur to an American. They wouldn't do that. They are just expressing that they don't like him. And they want the world to know that just because we have this embarrassing president doesn't mean everybody is that way.
Do you only be patient, or what do you gonna do in the 4 years from now?
Well, Hillary Clinton, in her concession speech, she said, our constitutional democracy demands our participation, not just every 4 years, but all the time. So let's all do what we can to keep advancing the causes and values that we hold dear. So we can keep working and building a foundation. It's kind of like what we have to do about Thailand. There's nothing that can be done right now.
Yeah.
So what do? You just keep talking about the values that you hope to move towards. And in our case, some of it, we do have some things accomplished that we don't want to backslide on. Things have become better for minorities in some ways, and there's increasing acceptance in society for people who are gay and lesbian, and we want to keep making that kind of progress. So you can make that kind of progress. You can't do it through government action because the Republicans right now have control of Congress, and they have control of the presidency. So we can't do it through the government. So we better do it at the local level. We can do things at the local level, and at the state level, and in our neighborhoods.
Some protesters asking for Hillary to come out and stand up for, fight back or not accepting the result. What do you think?
She already said that she's going to accept the result. She said it in her acceptance speech, and that is a really, really strong principle that she has that I've heard her repeat several times. So, and in fact, right before that, she said that sentence that I read to you, right before that, she said, our constitutional democracy enshrines the peaceful transfer of power, and we don't just respect that, we cherish it. That means we love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we as Americans are so proud of, that we always have a peaceful transition of power.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the rule of law.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the principle, she said, we have the rule of law, the principle that all are equal in rights and dignity, freedom of worship and expression. We respect and cherish these values, and we must defend them. Mm-hmm. So we've got to defend the democratic principle. We have to defend the system. Mm-hmm. And in this time, we defend the system by stepping back and not and letting Trump take over. Now, if he does something that is unconstitutional against the Constitution, which is very possible because he doesn't know the Constitution, doesn't know what he's doing. Mm-hmm. So it's very possible that he will overstep accidentally or on purpose. And if he does, even the Republicans would impeach him if he did something terrible. Mm-hmm. So we have to stand by the system, the Prachatipatai.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Want to maintain that. That's more important than any one person.
Mm-hmm. Barack Obama asking the country to come together and give him a chance, supporting Trump. That is many American citizens had to agree with, or what do you think?
Well, I accept that he is the president.
Yes.
Since you already mentioned that I'm the president of the Thai Alliance for Human Rights, I'm probably setting a very bad example when I say I hate him. I hate him, I hate him, I hate him. And I'm not speaking for the organization. I am just saying personally, I hate him. Mm-hmm. But he is the president. Mm-hmm. And, if he only did one thing, which was to say that Barack Obama wasn't a citizen, and to spread that lie and make a whole, 50% or whatever of Republicans believe this giant lie, giant racist lie. If that was the only thing he did, that would be enough for me to hate him. Mm-hmm. But he did many more things beyond that. One after another, and he's never apologized for any of it.
He going to be one term, and after that they have something wrong, going to be impeachment, and that's the way that have to be in the future of Trump's period, right? What do you think?
I think that it's always possible. Mm-hmm. Trump in the past was a Democrat. Mm-hmm. And he says anything. So he'll say one thing to one people, will say something else to the other people. Mm-hmm. So in the past, he's said all kinds of nice things about Hillary Clinton. He said that he liked health care, mm-hmm. for universal health care. He said things that make him sound like a moderate relative to the other Republicans that he ran against. Mm-hmm. So we don't know what he'll do because, like I said, he has no ideology. He'll change his promises mm-hmm. depending on who he's talking to. Mm-hmm. So what will actually happen when he takes office, we don't know. We don't know whether he will really repeal Obamacare, or if he does, he said he would replace it. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe he will replace it. That would, as long as he replaces it with something which gives everybody health care, that'd be great. Mm-hmm. But we don't know what he's going to do. And for instance, he has seemed like personally he likes gay people, doesn't have any problem with gay people. However, in order to get all those supporters, he promised to do all kinds of to try to repeal the gay marriage laws. So nobody knows what he's mm-hmm. going to do. Yes. He'll promise one thing, then he'll promise the other thing. because he has no values. He just tries to get as much votes as he can, however he can. So we don't know what will happen next, and it could not be as bad as we're fearing, but it probably will be.
Do you don't think Trump can be change himself, like change his attitude, his personal after this? You don't think so?
No, it's just been too long. He had there were many times when it was so important for him to behave. It would have even been to his benefit to behave. When he was in the debates with Hillary Clinton, he could not even behave himself on stage for an hour and a half. He had to, say to her, "You're a nasty woman." For nothing. He just says mean things for no reason. He can't keep his mouth shut. And so she's talking and he keeps interrupting her and shouting out insults. He can't stop himself. He doesn't have self-control. And, when he was debating the other Republicans before he became the Republican nominee, one of them said he had small hands, and that's like a code for you have also a small penis. And so he said right there on the stage, he said he had a big penis to the whole world. He can't stop himself. So, he's just not polite, and he's not anything. And it's going to look really bad. It's going to look really bad when he's representing our country. So that makes people crazy, but what can you do at this point?
Right. So in the end, you have to accept the result. And so what do you think, or what do you project the future of your country from now in 5 years, or no, 4 years? What do you think the future of the country?
Well, I think that he's really dragged down the standard for political debate. I mean, when you are, you're supposed to be debating issues. He was not debating issues. He was calling people names and bragging about the size of his penis. That's what he was doing during a political debate. So I think that he's really done a whole lot of damage, and whether we can, recover from that particular damage where the political debate is at that level, I don't know. It may be, this low for a long time. And so, the only thing that I can say is that we, put our heads down and weather the storm, and then take our focus to local politics and to our own lives and trying to do what good we can around us.
Compare the president election in the past and in this time, what American feel? Because in the past, when the campaign or the election got a result, many American people, they have a hope about a new era of the political, or a new era of the country. But right now, many American, they're just very fear or afraid or something uncomfortable to be American citizen, something like that, or to what going on about the future of our country, something like that.
Right. That's exactly.
Can you compare about the feeling of the American when the presidency debate or the presidency election over, and compare in this time?
Well, previously, I've never seen so much mourning over it's like mourning like somebody died among people, I didn't break down and cry, but there was people at work who didn't come into work, and they came into work and they sat at their desk and cried.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't, because I kind of knew that it was possible. A lot of people didn't realize something this bad was possible, and I was the one that was always saying, you know what? Democracy can go right down the toilet. It can. And Americans think that, you know, they have God watching over them, and it's like magic, and that our country is special, and, you know, no matter how badly they behave, as far as when they discuss, you know, calling each other names when they're discussing politics, and not caring and not paying attention and not taking it seriously, that's been going on for a long time. And just treating politics like a big joke. So that's where it leads today. So I wasn't surprised, and I already knew going into that night that Trump had about a 30% chance of winning. And 30%, 35%, something like that was what my understanding was. And everyone kept saying, well, it'll all be over soon and Hillary will win. And I kept saying, no, 35% chance is a big chance. And so there we went into it, and he won. It's really, really different than before. But everyone is kind of like repeating the idea among the Democrats, and also the people who were, the third party supporters. Anyone who doesn't like Trump, they're saying, well, we'll just keep working and work at the local level, and there are many things we can do to promote our values besides, you know, at the government level.
Many the foreigner or the people who not American citizen, and many countries asking and wonder about the spirit of America, or the core values of America, about democracy, freedom, human rights, something like that. So when Trump become power, they have many questions about this. What do you describe about this question, or the wondering?
Well, I think even the Republicans have stronger principles. I shouldn't say even the Republicans. The Republicans have strong principles that we all share as Americans, you know, Democrats and Republicans. And it seems that Donald Trump is anomalous. That means he is different even than most Republicans. So, you know, not only doesn't he represent the Democrats, which isn't surprising since he's a Republican, but he doesn't even represent the Republicans. He's just so unusual. And so, it's a problem, but the rest of us really have strong values of human rights and free speech. And believe me, if he does overstep the line, there's going to be a lot of Republicans who will work to get rid of him, you know, legal means. Because if you cause a constitutional crisis, you can be impeached if you're the president. Just like Nixon was impeached, and it can easily happen because there are so many things that are more important than any one person, and our principles are more important. And in fact, at one point when Trump was campaigning, he said, you know, well, you know, we should use torture. And some of the people in the military said, we won't obey an order that is unconstitutional, just saying. I mean, even if the president gave us an order that was unconstitutional, we would not follow it. So we do have some of those kind of reassurances.
What do you think about the relationship between Thai and U.S. from now on, when Trump become a power, or Trump he's be a president of United States?
He seems to be an isolationist, He doesn't think that we really should be involved overseas, as far as I can tell. So, and even here at home, he is not interested in freedom of expression. He's already, treated reporters badly. He tries to sue people who say things about him, even if they're true. He tries to, he tries to bully people who say things about him and say, well, I'll sue you just because I have more money. And so to imagine that he would like stand up for freedom of speech in Thailand, it's something that I'm not imagining. Luckily, the government is bigger than just him, but he might get along with some of these authoritarian governments, like he gets along with Putin. He thinks Putin's a great person. So, I'm sure he'll really like Prelude too. So I don't know. It's very, very odd. And we'll just have to see who he gets to be, Secretary of State. That'll be more important. Hopefully there's a whole structure there that it won't just be his ideas. It'll be, other career diplomats, I hope.
All right. Thank you so much, Anna, for your time. I appreciate that, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you very much.
All right. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ ครับนั่นก็เป็นเสียงสะท้อนของคนอเมริกันนะครับคุณแอนนา โนแมนซึ่งก็เป็นของหนึ่งที่ทำให้เราเห็นถึงความรู้สึกของคนอเมริกันในเรื่องของการเลือกตั้งที่ผ่านมานี้ด้วยเช่นกันนะครับเอาละครับนี่คือทั้งหมดของรายการเสียงไทยเพื่อเสรีภาพของคนไทยในวันนี้ขอบพระคุณที่ติดตามรับชมคุยกันใหม่ครั้งหน้าวันนี้ลาไปก่อนครับสวัสดีครับ